I'm here today with David Bramhill, Executive Chairman of AIM-listed Union Jack Oil. The EPIC code is UJO, an onshore oil and gas exploration company focused on drilling, developing and investing across a number of licenses in the north of the UK. The areas in question are the East Midlands, Humber Basin and East Yorkshire. David, it's good to speak with you.
You too. Thank you for asking me on.
So, David, you announced a major acquisition on the Wressle project this morning. Before we get into that, can you give listeners an overview of the Union Jack offering?
Yes, I'd be delighted to, Alan. Union Jack effectively is an investor in what we consider to be cherry-picked projects. We have a terrific technical team. We're just because we're not an operator doesn't mean to say that we rely on everything that's said to us by operators. We do our own DD, and our team is second to none, especially onshore UK, in every aspect of geology, seismic. Every aspect is covered, well covered. So we've got a pretty good start. We're ahead of the game on that because of the very efficient team we have. And as you mentioned today, Wressle, very important to us. Yeah. Always has been, always will be. We started off with 8% of Wressle. And that was never ever enough, but that was all was available. It was very tightly held. As things got tough for some companies, we managed to acquire a little bit here, a little bit there. So, but if you had said to me 2 years ago you're going to be the predominant holder here, I would never believed it. And we're very pleased to be in that position, actually. Of course, it is a key project to us.
Okay, so you've got 4 projects that we were talking before the interview. You've got 4 projects, which is Wressle. Can you tell us about the other 3 key projects?
Yeah, I'd be delighted to. Yeah, obviously the other one, which is in our book a star, already 2 very, very nice looking discoveries at West Newton. We've an extended well test to happen very, very soon, and also the drilling of the B1 well, which is pretty exciting for us because assuming that it works, and we're talking geology here, we're talking about something that's a couple miles underground, but if we can extend as far as we are going to, a couple of clicks, a couple of kilometers, and we get the same result, then we got a world beater on our hands onshore, basically offshore resource onshore. Unbelievable. So there's certainly a lot to look forward to on that. We've the Biscathorpe prospect, which we believe remains one of the largest undrilled prospects in the UK. Untested, I should say. We drilled it last year. Initial results weren't very good. We dug and the result we came, it looks like it was an ore discovery.
Fantastic.
In the Dynantian formation. And also our last situation we bought 55% of, added, was Keddington, an ore field with a production license, terrific upside, and the sky's the limit on production there. So when you start basically putting that matrix of very, very nice assets together, we've got a proper looking company at the end of the day.
That's superb. And of course, Wressle, you now own 12.5%, and you say you're now the largest holder in the project. Is that right?
We own 40% now. We acquired the 12.5%.
Yeah, that's it.
So added to the 27.5%, obviously 40%. Right. In one fell swoop, we've increased our resource and contingent reserve base by 45%, which to over 1 million barrels, which is excellent value for that prospect, or project, I should say. It's no longer a prospect. It's a very, very attractive looking discovery.
Indeed. So that's great. So looking at the costs for the company, you say we were talking beforehand again, and you said costs are just over $17 to get the oil out of the ground and to market. Now, given, of course, the well-documented glut in supplies and these storage ships floating off Southern California, where do you see the oil price going this year, given that background?
Well, it's very, very difficult to predict anything now in this world. Always been the same. Nothing's ever changed. Things always seem to go against or exactly what one thinks. But somebody's got to be right sometime. And I've seen these. You can't call it a fluctuation even, but I've seen these oil price disasters for the last, God, I hate to say it. I've been involved in the oil game for over 50 years now, and there's been so many happenings since Sheikh Yamani, I think his name was, in the 70s, right up to now. Nothing ever ceases to surprise. Global events, geopolitical events, gluts, seen them all. But every time the oil price has come back, and all much stronger than it's ever been, and it's got all the ingredients to. I know that a lot of analysts, very good analysts, are forecasting $55, $53 for 2021. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go a hell of a lot higher. Wouldn't surprise me at all. We just see wild swings now, and this happens, and you make the most of those opportunities.
For sure.
So I'm an oil bull anyway. Always will be, always have been. So I'm not going to see a low oil price, sustained oil price. You know, if you go to the oil forecast and production, the world requirements, not just for cars, but just for the products that derive from this product, you'll see that we need twice as much petroleum products to even cover up to 2050. And you've got to ask the question, where's that going to come from?
Yep. So
we've got exciting times ahead for sure. Many day left in the dog of oil.
Excellent. So, well, if it goes to that, your projected prices, then obviously with the reserves that Union Jack Oil now has, you're going to be in a very strong position. And certainly, I mean, that brings me on to my next question. What is the funding position like for the company?
Well, the funding position is very, very good. At the moment, we've over 5 million in the kitty. We're very cautious on our spend. G&A is just nudging $1 million for the year, which is probably about 50%. Salaries are very, very low. Combined salary is less than what some CEOs or chairmen take out. So, you know, this isn't a lifestyle company. We really keep what you're looking at is my office. I've no high-powered pictures up on the wall, or, you know, this is where it happens.
Sure.
We keep spend down. Most of our money goes into the ground, which is terrific, or into buying a project. Excellent. So financially, we're very, very good, and hopefully the cash flow will come sort of pouring in H2, and we'll see a massive difference in our fortunes financially.
That's excellent, David. Well, that also brings me on to, I mean, obviously everyone's been battling this dreadful disease, COVID-19, this year, and in their own different ways. I hope you and your staff have remained safe during this. But as we start to come out the other side of this crisis, where do you see the value inflection points arriving for Union Jack Oil?
Well, there are many. We're in a very, very nice position. The way that we have worked in the past, we didn't really mean them to all happen all at once, because we did have an issue with planning on Wressle, which has now been overcome. The planning inspectorate allowed the development of this really nice project. So where do I see that? Now, to be honest with you, COVID has been horrible. Everyone knows that. It hasn't really affected our progress moving forward, because all of these projects at the moment, we've been waiting for the EEA to give permission for the EWT at West Newton. That's been given, so we're ready to roll on that. We're drilling the B1 well ASAP, and we're putting a road in and a well pad. All that work has been ongoing under health and HSE rules. Everyone's been working together without any incident. So West Newton's covered. Biscathorpe is basically finding the new drill site, of which we have several. So we haven't been affected, and with Wressle, to bring this on, the heavy lifting is not going to happen till September, late August, September. And from where I'm seeing, things are being relaxed now with COVID. So far, so good. It's just a terrible shame that it happened, not from a business point of view, but for a personal tragedy, of course.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and you know, our thoughts go out to anyone who has been affected by this. I know every family around the globe has been impacted to a greater or lesser degree. So, David, it's been great talking with you. Before we wrap up the interview here, could you provide us with 3 key takeaway points for investors watching this?
Well, I think so. But what I will say is, I've been asked this question many, many times before.
Yeah.
Never put in more than you can afford. And I'm not preaching to anybody, but geology, oil exploration, everything, there's always risk attached. So even though it looks as if everything is 100% nailed, there's no such a thing as 100%. So I'll say, there's still the risk. We've mitigated, I believe, the risk best we can, but
Okay.
still risk. And it'd be very remiss of me not to say this. However, I think we've mitigated, and all things being equal, it's just one of these projects is as good as I think it is. You're going to be hearing a lot about them in the future, and a lot about Union Jack as well, which is the name of the company. So the 3 things to take out. Number 1, I like to think that we as a company and a board are transparent. That means a lot to investors. It's so easy to lose that equilibrium where one minute people think, oh, this is a good company, and then before you know it, you're plankton. So I would say we're transparent, point 1. Point 2, if we say we're going to do something, what it says on the tin, we normally do. And if it doesn't happen, it's not because we haven't tried. And I think from a news flow perspective, we're power packed with news. Now, hopefully it'll be the news that everyone wants to hear. I'll be surprised if, as I said earlier, if at least one of them doesn't give everything the party time they want to hear. So I think news flow going forward, and let's be honest, this is what AIM is all about. The investor lifespan is probably not that long, and who can blame investors? They want to make money. No guarantee, but I think that the news flow is going to help this company along in leaps and bounds, and certainly put us on the map. Logistically, we want to be a mid-tier onshore oil producer in the medium term. So far, so good.
Excellent. David Bramhill, Executive Chairman at Union Jack Oil, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for asking me, Alan.